Currently in interviews with Monster Girls, the only character that I felt hasn't had enough time to shine would be the teacher, this Succubus. So I'm really glad we got an episode mainly focused on her. They even introduced some new side characters, the Succubi hunters, who pretty much go around trying to figure out if a Succubus is doing things on purpose to purposely manipulate and hurt humans with their pheromones to make people attracted to them, or if they have no malicious intent and if they are a good succubi, which this teacher is. I forget her name, Sato or something like that. So I do like how they introduced these new characters. They were an entertaining duo. We have this older guy who's known this teacher since they were very young here, but then we have this kid who just can't keep a straight face and can't tell a lie if it was based on him living or dying. So I loved how he was just walking throughout the school being like, "Ooh, I almost messed up there. They would have known I was suspicious." Whereas all the characters are looking at him saying, "Why the hell is this blonde German kid in our school? And what the hell is he up to?" I mean, I just like that dynamic. He was an entertaining character. Seeing him just tell everything that everyone would want to know, where like, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a transfer student." And then Hikari's like, "He isn't a transfer student." Or then we have our teacher here who's just literally knows that he's pretty much interviewing demis, or he's a detective for demis. I like that character. But I thought this was a really solid episode, mainly because we got to see a lot of things that I didn't think we would see. As we know that she likes our main character because he shows no reaction when she touched him, so she thinks she has no effect on him when he was just putting on a face so she wouldn't feel so bad or out of place. So that gets revealed to her this week, where no, there's no way, unless he was gay, there's no way your powers would not attract him. Like that, obviously he was just putting on a face. And she finds that sexy. And I love that because there's a couple of things with this. One, she's just so in love with him that even though she thought she fell in love with him because he didn't show that reaction, she finds that like, oh my god, he found me attractive. That's amazing. And she loved that. But also, it's something that's very loving that she could see because he was willing to put on a face, go through pain in a lot of ways to not show the sexual reaction and pleasure that he had from when she touched him. So there's two things that just makes her even love him even more, and I love seeing that, as one of which is explained that, no, he was just putting on a face, but she realizes like, oh my god, I'm just so happy that he found me attractive. But there's another thing that isn't explained, but if you look at it from kind of like a romance perspective, she also is just happy that he was willing to do that for her all her life. As far as we know, no one's ever done something like that. So I really like seeing that. I like seeing how she still is in love with him, even after learning what she fell in love with isn't actually what's keeping her there. It's him as a person, and also that she's just happy that he has sexual feelings for her. So I like seeing that. This show has always been very good about portraying feelings and just social dynamics well, but I thought it did a really good job with that scene in particular. If you take that scene away, it's not really the main focus of the episode. It's a more comedy-focused episode, more of a kind of sit back and relax, have some dumb fun with these new characters. But there was still a very powerful scene there, though it did have comedy, though it still had those silly facial expressions that we know and love with the series. It did a very good job at portraying how much she truly loves him, and I thought it did it damn well. I really, though, liked how they had a conversation with our main character as well as this new guy when they're having their smoke break. Pretty much, they have a nice conversation there, and we get to learn a bit about him, but also seeing that he was worried because in this world, you know, there was a time where people that were demis were not accepted, that they were bullied, that they were ridiculed for being different. And he was worried that when he came to this school that he would hear rumors, he would hear gossip. Who knows what he could see? He was scared to even see it. But because of this school, that the world's changing. He said the world seems to be shaping up into a more better place. And I think especially with recent times, with everything that goes around in our world right now, it's good to see something, even if it's in animated form, someone say, the world is still able to become a good place. And I think that was an important message from this episode, and I really like seeing that and how they kind of portrayed that with the animation and everything like that. But this was another really solid episode of Interviews with Monster Girls. I'm still really impressed with this series. This shouldn't work. I mean, at the core, this should just be a fan service, ridiculed mess of a show that's just going cliches and tropes. It does have trope-ish natures to it, but I'm just impressed that this show, ones with vampires and doulahans and succubus, is able to portray real human raw emotion better than a lot of anime that are set in a real setting. I'm just really impressed by this, and I mean, I'm really hoping that this isn't the only episode we'll have with the succubus before the series ends, because it's going to be probably 12 or 13 episodes. I really hope we get at least one more episode mainly focused on her. I mean, we're not going to see a relationship between her and the main character there, but I would like to see one more main episode focused with her, because I really liked what we got with this week's episode, and she's still the one who I felt like hasn't had the enough time throughout these episodes, but we still have probably like 5 or 6 episodes left, so there's still more time for her to shine. Of course, we're going to see more Hikari and things like that, but I think this was a necessary episode, not because the other episodes were bad in any way, but because she felt like she had the least amount of time so far compared to the rest of the cast. So I'm glad we got this episode, and I'm really excited to see where next week's goes, and also just what kind of dynamics we'll see. And I hope these new side characters return for at least one more episode, because they were an entertaining duo, and seriously, that kid just not being able to tell a lie to save his life was amazing. I really had a lot of fun with this episode. But for anyone who watches this episode, what do you think of this episode? How did you feel about how they portrayed love this episode? Because it was really well done, I found. And also, what was your favorite part of the episode? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And before you leave, hit that like button if you did enjoy the video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.